Yeah, I'm not sure about portrait mode or ah, crap. Yeah, there it is. So I did a little bit too much tape there, but I thought that whole system. Oh, it is so annoying. So what I'm gonna do is I've got this material that is the copper mesh. I think it might be copper nickel, but no, I think this is just copper. So it's a really fine mesh that's very conductive, which is a good thing if you want to ground it so that you can stop low frequencies. So I'm going to try is to make a little sock that will go around my dongle, because I've got an Ethernet dongle, one conked out. It was the U green, which is a pity because in itself it's a nice brand, that U green. It's got good stuff, but it doesn't seem to be lasting, and that's not cool. But oops, that didn't quite work. Oh well, maybe I'll just fold it double and screw it. I don't want to stretch it too much because then it might be warping. Just want to have it in a sort of natural state. So what I'm going to make is this sock, and then I have the dongle in there and the Ethernet cable. And I thought I'll just do a bit of extra length to see if I can also shield off the Ethernet cable and have it more further away from me. Every centimeter that you can sort of get the radiation away from you or keep it at bay is a bonus point. It's mooi meegenomen, as they say in Dutch. Nice to take with, which doesn't quite make as much sense in English, but it's nice. So I could just sew the material straight, but because it's a metal mesh, I think this will give it a bit more grip and make for a nicer finish. And this is also a bit sharp because this is actually metal. It's just really fine thread, so it is not as bad as the stainless steel, which is a bit harder and really can cut you or poke you. This one, because the copper is a lot softer, it feels less bad, but still, you know, it'll snag on materials. You see, well, you can't really see it, but I can feel it. You know, it's something that's nicer if you just give it a finish. So I got this metal tape, which is also metal in itself, but woven. So this is woven, this is woven. Ta-da! It's all metal, and that gives me something to sew into, because I don't want to rely just on the stickiness of this tape, because it's not that great, but the stickiness does help to sort of keep it in place till the moment that I actually sew it. I don't think I'm going to bother with the end. I should have done that first and then do these if I wanted to do the end. I think that's going to be fine. And besides, this is just a prototype that I just want to see and measure and see if it actually works properly. And yeah, the cool thing is that since I've gotten so sensitive to electricity, it was a lot less fun to work with the sewing machine because it was running on electricity, and that was just making me sick. So I'm just gonna show show it off because it's such a fun machine. So I've got this mechanical one, and this is from 1949. I just bought it, and I cleaned it up a little bit, gave it a few drops of oil, and it's just working. So what I did with that handle was just to move it back, to just go back on its own stitch so that it locks the thread. I've got a very fine stitch going on here just because it looks so pretty, and it's just amazing how it shows off this machine. And I think it's remarkable that you got something that's 75 years old and it just works. And well, I don't want to say that the stitch is better than my new Brother plastic electric powered machine, because it's got all sorts of fancy stitches, but I do find these stitches prettier. From what I can tell, from my limited, experience, it has it's pretty perfect. So anyway, I'll do a little bit back and a little bit forward, and that's it. So I didn't use any electricity, and all I needed to do was and then I left the scissor out there. Yeah, great. Well, and then from that, we've got the little sock, and I got the stitch going there. Nice, pretty. And what's going to be interesting is how well it works with shielding off the electric fields, because like I said, that thing is pretty annoying. So let's just say I got the modem is here. I was reading 30, and here's the Ethernet cable. So I'm just gonna see if and where's the other meter? Sometimes the Safe and Sound will pick it up, even though it's not really meant to, because it focuses on modulated signals. Oh, yeah, okay. So we had a high point of 2236. So there's definitely some. So we had a point, 76 microwatts. That's quite extreme. Well, okay. Good thing that one was picking up, because the analog low frequency stuff wasn't picking up. Maybe if I go on a high frequency, yeah. So you see that the e-smog is not really showing it. So it was good that the Safe and Sound was actually picking up in numbers. That's why you got multiple meters. They don't overlap. They actually got big gaps between what they can measure or where they're good at. And if you've got multiple meters, you can sort of have a better chance at figuring out like what is going on in reality. Okay, so this is going to go all the way. Yeah, nice. And what's going to be interesting is what happens when you ground it. Yeah, okay, so I've got that, and so it's just communicating, but already instead of 76, we've got 4 microwatts, 5 microwatts, and so it's a bit more active than it was before, because it probably just connected. and on the low frequency. So the low frequency doesn't show any improvement. That's still 50 volts. And let's see what happens if we put a ground on it. Yeah, so that is what I really want to see. As soon as I touch it, it completely, yeah, hope you got that. You see, it's up in the red, so 50 volts, and then I touch it with the ground, boom, anywhere on the material. And on the Ethernet cable, wonderful. Ooh, I like that. So the same thing is happening here with this case that I made for the keyboard. Same thing. I do want to put on a plastic so that it doesn't get as grotty as the other one, but this is the way to shield off high frequency stuff and low frequency stuff. You got to ground it. That makes all the difference. It's the same with here what I've got on the laptop, because these trackpads are hideous. So if I do it on low frequency stuff, and you can see not that much, but you go underneath. Yeah, it's pretty gross. That's why I was getting really nauseous with the laptop. So this way, I've got a shielded laptop, a shielded Ethernet, and a shielded keyboard. And once I've done connecting it all up and grounding it, it's a lot more pleasant to work with. So yeah, prototyping my way through it, and just as the meter, the real ultimate meter is me. I get nauseous and I don't even want to think about this shit. I just want to be on the computer because I love tech. I love connecting and creating, and it's my tool. I love it, but it makes me sick. So doing these things makes it so that I can work a little bit longer and with less nausea and headaches, which is a big plus. Yeah.